that once was just a thought and idea that was floating across there, that it became reality. And people are excited about that.
This is Hourglass, the podcast for United Way of King County in Seattle. Coming up, a conversation with Claudia Kauffman, our Washington State Senator and co-founder of Native Action Network, a United Way-supported Seattle-based nonprofit that promotes Indigenous women's full representation and leadership in local, state, tribal, and national affairs. We'll chat with Senator Kauffman about some of her recent efforts to turn ideas into reality, including the extension of Martin Luther King Jr. Way from Seattle to Renton to Kent, and Native Action Network's impact that led the Seattle Seahawks to choose the organization for its Inspire Change Apparel Collection. We'll also hear from United Way Chief Philanthropy Officer Anna Cronin about our Year-End Fundraising Campaign and discuss our upcoming free tax preparation campaign. I'm your host, Joe Burris. Thanks for tuning in. According to Fast Company magazine, there are more than 1,000 streets worldwide named after Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. More than 950 of those streets are in the U.S., including one here in Seattle. There are also streets named for the iconic civil rights leader in Kolkata, India, Lisbon, Portugal, Jerusalem, Israel, and Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. According to HistoryLink, the city of Seattle named its streets after Dr. King in January of 1984. 2 years after the measure received unanimous approval from City Council, but subsequently encountered opposition from 36 merchants with establishments along the road. Now, Martin Luther King Jr. Way is about to be extended from Seattle through Renton and into Kent. The measure to extend Martin Luther King Jr. Way was approved in December by the State Transportation Commission and led by lawmakers including Claudia Kauffman, our Washington State Senator and co-founder of United Way-supported Seattle-based nonprofit Native Action Network. Kauffman said that no street, home, or business addresses will be renamed, but an additional street sign with Martin Luther King Jr. Way will be added along State Route 900 in Renton and State Route 515 in Kent. It is a tribute to a man who has become synonymous with the fight for justice and freedom for all people, particularly the powerless, the oppressed, and the disadvantaged. And it's also a testament to the work of Kauffman, who is currently serving her second term as state senator from the 47th District. A resident of Kent for more than 20 years, Kauffman is known as an advocate for legislation and policy to protect children, address equity, and increase services for people with disabilities. Kauffman said that the effort to extend Martin Luther King Jr. Way to Renton and Kent began as an idea that steadily gained momentum and support. The same could be said for Native Action Network, which she co-founded in 2001. The organization was inspired by the work of the American Indian Women's Service League amid the Indian Relocation Act in the 1950s. Through programming designed to empower Indigenous women of all ages, Native Action Network hosts intergenerational leadership forums, youth academies, nonprofit capacity-building workshops, and community development and civic participation activities. In 2014, United Way of King County led a funding effort to help assess assets and opportunities for Indigenous communities in the Seattle area. The result was the Native Action Network 2014 report, A Vision for the Urban Indian Community. The report focused on ways Seattle and King County can honor Indigenous communities through education and support. The report was updated in 2024. Native Action Network is also a member of United Way's Indigenous Communities Fund. Since the fund was launched in 2020, we've granted about $5 million to local groups to address the many needs in King County's Indigenous communities. Hourglass recently sat down with Senator Kauffman for a conversation about the Martin Luther King Jr. Way extension, the current work of Native Action Network, and the group's recent recognition from the Seattle Seahawks. Here's what the senator had to say.
My joint memorial was to have a renaming of the road. We wanted to continue from Martin Luther King Way in Seattle that comes down to Renton. We're hoping to just continue it right up on the East Hill of Kent.
Okay.
So that's State Route 515. And so Kent, it goes all the way up to 256th Street in Kent. And a lot of people know that as, Benson Road or Benson Hill and that area. And so, looking at that and see how we can connect that and making sure we have all the legal descriptions and the state highway, knowing that it's a state highway, then that is the memorial process that I can take as a state legislator. And so I couldn't, rename the street. I can make the memorial street naming. So it'll be like a double sun street.
Okay. And which roads will there be?
It runs from southeast in Renton, or State Route 900.
Okay.
Kind of ends at Renton. It kind of turns and goes east. But this would take it farther south. There is like one block where the state doesn't own that particular block. So we had to do those little tiny details. And then it runs all the way south, from Renton all the way south to 256th Street in Kent.
Okay. When will this take place?
So this was... through this joint memorial process, I am asking the State Transportation Commission to approve this and to begin the process of the renaming. Part of that went through the Senate Transportation Committee across the Senate floor into the House. We made it to the Senate Transportation Commission, and they just approved that. And so it's going to begin the process now. I don't have the exact date of when that will be implemented, but they are now on a fast track to get that done. That came to be through outreach to constituents within the 47th Legislative District. In particular, Gwen Ellen Carlston, her and I had a conversation about this. And then after that, I met with John Boyd and the Kent City Council, and he had talked about the importance of this, and he had also heard from other folks that they were interested in this renaming. And then I talked with Kent Parks and Planning Department, and when they were reviewing their updated planning, they asked for public comment, and that was put into their public comment as well. So it was something that had been going on in a variety of areas. So it wasn't just one, it came through all the constituents. And so, based on that, I went further and just took it and see how far we could go, what is the process, and what do I need to do to get it across the finish line.
Will any streets or business addresses be changed?
No, not the street addresses.
Okay.
It'll be like a memorial. Because, it's important to recognize Martin Luther King and what he has done and contributions he made, not only locally, but across the whole United States. And, his work is powerful, and his name is a legacy we need to continue to have in front of all of our constituents and all of our citizens.
And so what do you think the responses will be? What do you think the impact will be across Renton and Kent for this?
I think it'll be great. I think that people will be happy to see this and know and understand the person that we're recognizing and the work that he's done and the legacy that he has. And Southeast Kent is a very diverse community. On the East Hill of Kent is very diverse, and having that recognition would be important.
Great. What responses have you got?
I have been so fortunate that I have not had any opposition to this.
Okay.
I have not had any concerns about this. It has all been positive, and it's all been celebratory. I've received several calls and emails and texts from folks and how excited they are that this was able to move through. That once was, just a thought and idea that was floating across there that became reality, and people are excited about that.
That is an area right now that has gone through a lot of changes, and right now it's really enduring a lot with recent weather. Just talk about the Kent and Renton area, the people, the diversity of that community, and its resilience.
Yes, most definitely. Especially in difficult times, people show up and you help and you care. You care for your neighbor, you care for the community, and you care for your city. And so Renton and Kent Auburn have experienced tremendous amount of impacts on the floods, on the rivers that run through our communities, and how that impacts not only individuals, homeowners, businesses, but it impacts everyone who's just driving through and trying to find their route to their school, to their work, or even to the local market, going to the daycare center. All these roads have water on them. And so how we can show up for one another is something that we are demonstrating very well.
Native Action Network's impact in the Seattle area has prompted the Seattle Seahawks Pro Shop to select the nonprofit for its Inspire Change Collection apparel. The NFL says its teams offer the Inspire Change Collection apparel on several clothing items to support social justice initiatives. Proceeds from the sale of Inspire Change Collection apparel go to nonprofit partners. The Seahawks said that 12% of in-store sales proceeds from Inspire Change will be donated to Native Action Network. And the Seahawks commended the nonprofit for building intergenerational leadership and amplifying the voices of Indigenous women. Kauffman applauded the Seahawks for their recognition and spoke about a few of Native Action Network's upcoming events.
Knowing and understanding the work that we do, we're very happy that we have built a legacy of great leadership coming out of our communities. But this Inspire Change recognition is kind of twofold. One is the recognition. I believe that was on the Seattle Seahawks game last Sunday. But it's also provides an opportunity for people to learn about Native Action Network and the work that we do. I think it was a percentage of some of their sales through December on their NFL Seattle Seahawks is going to go to Native Action Network as a contribution. And so, having that is just really.
Talk about Native Action Network really developing the next generation of leaders. In what ways are you doing that?
We do that through a number of activities. One is our annual Native Women's Leadership Forum, which is a 2-day forum on leadership development, professional development, recognizing our past leaders, recognize our current leaders, and our future leaders, and providing them with the opportunities, with tools and ideas and training so that we can have that. So it's more of an intergenerational approach to leadership, so that you have the wisdom of your elders and you have the strength of your current leaders and inspiration of the upcoming leaders, and how we can impact our future.
Okay. And can you tell me, just lastly, are there any programs, any events, any happenings with Native Action Network, say, coming up over the next, say, 6 months?
Oh, yeah. So we do have an advocacy boot camp, which is a 3-day really boot camp in getting people who are in like their mid-level career and how you can increase your skills and abilities and tools in furthering your leadership journey, because you're on a journey of leadership. And here are some number of steps that you can take. We do things such as, knowing your message, knowing your skill set, and bringing the confidence to the Native women to say that, yes, you are a leader, and yes, you can be more, and yes, you can do this, you can be on every board commission that's out there. I mean, the opportunities that are available for the participation is something they need to learn. Or even if they want to run for office, knowing and understanding that, yes, you do have that power in finding your voice. We provide professional headshots and we get them all set. They practice their one-liners. It's really a complete set of tools. But what I think makes this unique is that we bring our culture into the presentations and into, the activities that we do, so that we're centered and that you're in a safe place and know our traditions and our ceremonies, and we incorporate that into our services.
Great. When is that boot camp?
It's in April. I think it's the third week in April.
Okay.
And nativeactionnetwork.org is the place. Applications will be opened up in January for those who want to apply.
Oh, good. Perfect. Thank you so much, Senator Kauffman. Really appreciate your time.
Yay, thank you.
For more information about Native Action Network, log on to nativeactionnetwork.org. And now a word about United Way of King County's Year-End Fundraising Campaign, which will bolster our efforts to address hunger and food insecurity in our region.
Hi, I'm Anna Cronin, Chief Philanthropy Officer at United Way of King County, and I'd like to take a minute to talk about something that matters deeply to me: hunger in our community. Groceries are more expensive than ever, and programs like SNAP are under attack. Families are struggling to keep food on the table. These are our neighbors here in King County. That's where United Way comes in. This year, thanks to generous community members like you, we've delivered groceries to over 6,700 families through our grocery delivery program. That's over 150,000 deliveries for 18,000 neighbors. But there's still more work to do, and we're not stopping until everyone has enough to eat. Take Jamie, a mother of 4 in South Seattle. She couldn't safely access her local food bank due to unreliable transportation. Weekly grocery deliveries brought her family stability, hope, and nourishment. She told us, "These days it's hard to afford food. I appreciate you guys sending me grocery boxes. It helps me take care of my kids, my dad, and myself, especially with me being pregnant right now." Every delivery isn't just food. It's security, relief, and a reminder that someone cares. That's the power of your support. As this year comes to a close, we need your help to keep food on the table for thousands of families. By giving to our year-end fundraising campaign, your generosity directly provides fresh groceries, free school meals, and emergency food assistance. And right now, every dollar you give will be matched by our board of directors, doubling your impact for those who need it most this holiday season. Join us as we unite against hunger. Give at uwkc.org/donate. And from all of us at United Way, thank you for connecting families to the food they need to thrive. And happy holidays. Hope doesn't quit, and neither do we.
United Way of King County's free tax preparation campaign is gearing up for another tax season. Funded by United Way, the IRS, and the City of Seattle, United Way's free tax prep service is for individuals who make up to $80,000 a year or up to $96,000 for non-single filers. United Way tax prep specialists help clients understand their tax situations and take advantage of benefits such as the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Working Families Tax Credit. In 2025, United Way served 18,200 of our neighbors, helping them access more than $16 million in tax credits and refunds. United Way tax sites will open on January 25th, but currently we are seeking volunteers for more than 20 free tax prep locations throughout King County, including sites at the downtown Seattle Library and in South Center Mall, as well as our virtual tax site. Volunteers are fully trained and IRS certified. To sign up, log on to uwkc.org/taxvolunteer. At United Way of King County, we are working side by side with communities to build an equitable future for everyone. Hourglass United Way is a podcast that highlights how we and our partners spend time making a difference in our communities. Our work is made possible by the generous donations from people like you. Please send comments and suggestions about our podcast to hourglassunitedway@gmail.com. To learn more about our work or to support United Way, log on to uwkc.org. I'm your host, Joe Burris. Thanks for listening. Until next time.